Welcome to A Seat at the Table. I'm Zanele Kumalo, editor of W24. Today we're going to be talking about traditions. We've got Kamagelo Maduma. And then we have Sam Muller. And then we have Leah Seaford.
Cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers.
Cheers.
And cheers.
A lot of women kind of cast themselves, or they would tick the box, traditional and modern. Do you see yourselves ticking those two boxes as well?
No, definitely not. I think traditions really hold women down. They hold them back. It's just all about the patriarchy. So I really don't believe in traditions. I think women should make their own mark. They should move forward and they should do what works for them.
So you're saying that most traditions aren't for women?
Yes.
They're generally, okay.
Yes,
All right.
definitely.
Are there any that you would like to keep around?
Yeah, traditions that are social. I come from a Muslim background, though my mom was Christian, colored, and my dad was Indian Muslim. So you can't get more. They were really diverse. And the traditions that we really loved was Eid, because the family came together, and Christmas. And those traditions I'd love to have. But the rest of it, no. Where arranged marriages are still being, they still take place these days.
Sadly.
So those are the traditions I don't want. When a young girl gets married, she moves into her mother-in-law's home, and then she falls under the mother-in-law's rules and
Being a
regulations.
makoti,
And those are the traditions I definitely don't agree with.
No, I agree with you. I think the social aspect of traditions is what people love. And I think, my father's Jewish, so coming from a Jewish background, it's the same idea around Shabbos on a Friday. It's really the community, and it's getting together with your friends and family, and it's far more about the community and about the social side of it than the religious side of it. So I think even if we're talking about religion, it's more, how do the rituals apply to you? It's the ritual stuff that you find sacredness in, rather than following very specific kind of laws. So are we talking about, religious tradition, around cultural tradition, around, what tradition are we talking about?
Those kind of hot topics.
I definitely agree with you, in the sense that a lot of the cultural tradition, especially in the African tradition over the years, it has been very oppressive, towards women. However, I feel, as an African woman, young, I would like to teach my children some of the traditions, how I've been brought up, especially things such as, lobola, customary marriage, the certain things that we follow when a newborn is, welcomed into the family. I feel that it is important because as much as they were oppressive, in some way it protects us. I think that when they explained it better, to say that this is why we do certain things, then you understand more as to why it's important to have it. So for example, in the African culture, when there's a newborn in the family, people outside the family are not allowed to see the baby before 3 months. And now in modern times, I understand that it's because the baby's immune system is not strong enough to handle, all of the other people that are coming in. However, before the education and the explanation, we would feel that, okay, this is oppressive, but in some way it kind of, protects the child, and it makes sense. So in that sense, I think some of the traditions are important to keep in place. And I think I would want to pass on some of them onto my kids.
And then how would you feel if your kids rejected those traditions? The same way that maybe you've rejected some of your parents or grandparents or your ancestors' traditions?
So I wouldn't feel offended because, in different generations, times evolve, things change. I would trust that my kids take the important things, the values as to why we do the certain things and carry that forward. If they feel that there's a better way of doing it and it is indeed better but still respects the culture, I'm for that.
I think questioning is important. I think you have to question why these traditions exist and why they're there, because we just perpetuate them generation after generation, and no one stops to say, is this still relevant for us in this world? And so I love that you said that it's about personal values, because it really boils down to that. My value system will dictate what traditions I feel are important to carry on in the family. And it's very hard for everybody in the family unit to have the same values. You're not going to get it, and your children won't have the same values as you. So we have to be able to create what works for us across culture, across the diversity, especially in this country.
And it shouldn't just be about saying it. It's about doing it as
it,
well.
true.
So it's easy for me to say, I'd like my daughter to follow the values and I'll be okay with it. But you really have to be okay with it when that happens.
True.
My daughter was 18 and she came to me and she said, Mom, I don't want to be a Muslim anymore. I raised her as a Muslim, though I was also in a mixed marriage, you know. So she said, I don't want to be a Muslim. I want to be a Catholic. Because all those years I said to her, it's okay. When you get there, you can decide.
But then when
it comes down to the crunch, you have to really stick to that and say, yes, it's okay.
And people don't question or change because they're so scared of what the reaction is going to be. They are so scared of offending and upsetting. And I think it just keeps people paralyzed. It keeps people stuck. And you're just going to keep doing the same stuff again and again. You've got to question
all the time.
And you're never going to have people who agree with you. You know, you're going to have everybody who's going to think it's not okay what you're doing. And it's you've got to find your own path.
Well, thank you so much for coming and chatting about a very, very hot topic. Your opinions were very much valued. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks for having us. Thanks. Thank you.